What do you suppose this is?
Pop.
Looks like cola.
Yes, it is. Is it fizzy?
Doesn't look like it.
What happens if you shake it? A little bit.
Do you want me to shake it or you're
Just a
asking
little.
me?
How come there's bubbles now?
The motion.
Movement.
It is quite frothy.
Why is it frothy?
That's a good question.
So, who wants to do the science of bubbly things?
We do.
Okay, so what do we have here that's bubbly?
Pop.
What makes it fizzy?
Carbonation.
And what is carbonation?
That's bubbles.
And what are the bubbles made of?
CO2.
What is CO2?
Carbon dioxide.
Is there carbon dioxide in there? Can you see it?
No.
How would the carbon dioxide manifest itself? How might you see it?
Shake it up.
And what happens?
Bubbles. Bubbly.
Bubbles form, they come out of solution and bubbles form. Are there bubbles forming in there right now?
A couple.
I see a few.
A few.
Can we get more bubbles?
Yeah. Probably.
I'll use you and you, okay? You get a glass, and you get a glass, and you each get a can of pop. You know what, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of sugar, just a little bit of sugar, and just, oops, that's a lot of sugar. Now what I'd like each of you to do is I would like you to pour the pop as carefully as you can without making fizz. Start pouring, you can hold the glasses up. You wanna be as unfizzy as possible. What's happening? How many bubbles is she making? How many bubbles is he making?
Lots.
Lots of bubbles. Marco's a lot fizzier. Carla's definitely fizzed up more, didn't it?
Yeah.
Than Melissa's did. Melissa had the nice clean glass. Carla had the glass with some sugar in it. Why did Marco's fizz up so much?
Sugar.
What did the sugar do?
I grabbed onto it. It used it. I don't.
In a sense, but you're onto it. It's a physical process. Here's the first thing you need to know about bubbles in carbonated beverages. In order to get bubbles out of the beverage, they need a little push to form. And one of the ways to push them is to give them something to grab onto.
Yeah.
I'll hold that up just for a second. See the candy, put the candy in. Drop the candy in, and you see it fizzing up. Those little spots where the bubbles can form are called nucleation sites. We've done a little bit with pop. Let's do a little experiment with beer. Here's a nice, relatively new plastic glass, right? Ooh, what's that on the inside?
Scratch.
If we take some beer, what do you see coming off that scratch?
Oh, it's getting like bubbles.
Is there a line of bubbles there?
Yeah.
They'll cling to it.
Wow.
You see, well, if you look really carefully, what do you see happening?
Bubbles.
Why bubbles at a scratch?
Because it's a rough surface.
It's a rough surface. It almost provides like a little grabbing spot for the molecules to grab onto to start the bubble formation. And you can see this especially works well with beer because the bubbles are fairly small. What is another way to produce bubbles inside a carbonated beverage? We've talked about nucleation sites. What's another really good way to make bubbles?
Shaking it.
Shaking it. Everybody shake. So, what do you think would happen if we took a bottle of pop and shook it really, really, really fast?
It might explode.
Mine. Do you want to find out?
Yep.
Okay.
Stand over there.
What we've brought along is the official Science and the City pop shaking device. Okay? This is an ultrasonic bath designed to shake objects very, very, very fast. When we shake the pop, what sort of bubbles do we get? Lots of little bubbles. And when you've got lots of little bubbles, what do?
They make larger bubbles.
Exactly. They make larger bubbles very rapidly. Who wants to make a lot of bubbles really fast? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
3, 2, 1.
So to wrap it up, a couple of questions. Why do they call it carbonated beverages?
Because they have carbon dioxide in them.
And what do we need to do to get those bubbles to form?
Shake it.
Shake it. And what's the other way?
Nucleation site. Nucleation site.
Or they need another bubble. But they need a push, right? There you go. Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Was it not totally lame?
Science is never lame.
Okay. She's my new assistant.